What is going on, people out there in the Dinar community? Anyways, I was going over some articles today and I saw something that looks pretty interesting. I'm sure this is probably just going to feed more into the idea that something most likely might happen at the end of this week, or maybe it won't. I'll let you decide, all right? So, anyways, here's something very interesting. And of course, they're talking about Iraq loses half of its revenue. If oil is under $30 per barrel, that's half of its revenue. Now, I've said this a bazillion times in my videos that Iraq cannot be relying so much on oil, and if some major event should come along, like it did, it could really hurt their entire economy, like it has. Okay, so let's just take a look at this really quick. So Salih, the financial advisor for the prime minister, said that the price of a barrel of Iraq crude oil fell to less than $30 US dollars, which means a loss of half of its country's revenues. Half. That's ridiculous. The semi official newsletter was reported in its issue today, Saturday. Salih, I believe is how you say his name, as saying, quoted as saying, Iraq's oil imports constitute 98% of its foreign currency flow to Iraq, while oil accounts for 45% of its gross domestic product and 93% of its general budget revenues, which makes it the resource. It's like it says, the resource. Think about that. These people over there, they're really just hurting. And the money that they're relying on the most is the money that's coming out of the ground, out of the oil. If Iraq can't get something going in that country and start finding alternative ways to generate revenue, I don't know how long this is going to go on. These people are really hurting and they're really suffering. And again, I'll make the pitch that one of the ways they can, that would probably help them is to increase the value of the dinar. And how that helps is it gives these people more purchasing power, allows them to get the things that they need brought into the country so they can start rebuilding. Okay, again, that's just my opinion. Okay, so he added the government had taken a number of measures to address the crisis in relation to the public expenditures and the main obligations to face the shortage of resources. He explained that the instructions and opinions stated in the statement of the Parliamentary Economic and Investment Committee represents important solutions aimed at formulating exceptional policies to confront the crisis. Ugh, I don't, with you have the coronavirus going on everywhere, trade wars happening everywhere. You have an oil war breaking out between Russia and Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia is already filthy rich. You know what I mean? They just, the royal family is not worried about an oil war. They can afford any type of war like that. And it's just, they have the money to do that. But, where does that leave the people? And that's something that's been crossing my mind as we go through these articles. So as you can see, there's articles. They had a committee, and I'm going to show you another article about that. But the committee is trying to figure out how they could combat the loss of revenue. Well, increase the damn rate. That's one of them. It doesn't even have to be at the 320 rate. It could be like I talked about at 134. It's a great sweet spot. All right. Again, a quick reminder: if you have not already. Let me encourage everybody to come join Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. I encourage you to come join it. The link is in the description. I'll leave it there for you to come and join. And many of you have been jumping on the fact that cryptocurrencies are now at a really low rate. And this is a good time to jump on board and grab some of those little boogers. Anyways, inside my description, you'll also see a link to buy on Coinbase. All right, it's a really user-friendly platform, and it's easy to follow along. All right. Anyways, inside Pimpy's Investment Chat, you'll see all kinds of news about Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, as well as gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. Okay, just wanted to throw that in there. All right. So, anyways, sure enough, Iraq's finance confirms the continued insurance of the salaries of the employees and retirees. So they did have a meeting about what they were going to do, and we've seen this. They've expressed this several times. What are we going to do about the salaries of the employees that are still working for the government, as well as what are they going to do about the pension, the retired people? Okay, the Deputy Prime Minister of Economical Affairs, the Iraq Finance Minister, Hussein chaired a meeting to study and evaluate the general financial situation and how to manage the current crisis in various aspects, and for banks and central banks to take their role in providing financial support to face the crisis facing Iraq. Yeah, take your role, provide financial support. Could any of you out there, real quick, think of a way that can help the financial support? How about giving them more purchasing power? That's what I say. If you agree with that, hit the thumbs up and leave a comment, all right? Okay, so anyways, the conferees, according to a statement of the Minister of Finance today, Sunday, continues to secure the salaries of the employees and retirees, and on the other hand, support the activities of the crisis cells and Ministry of Health, its directors to confront the threat of the spread of coronavirus. Now, it's interesting because we know Iran is getting their ass kicked by the coronavirus. We know they are. I've not heard a lot about anything happening in Iraq. Now, what gets me is this coronavirus isn't doing very well in countries where there's a lot of heat. Now, I'm not sure what is different between Iran and Iraq. It seems to me they're both out there in the desert. So it's just interesting that Iran is getting their butt kicked where Iraq doesn't seem to be hurt very much at all, if at all, about over the coronavirus, all right? Anyways, the meeting included both the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, the undersecretary of the Ministry of Finance, agencies of the chair of General Retirement Authority, the director general of the Public Debt Department, and general managers of Rafidin, I don't know how to pronounce that, I hope that's right, Rashid, and Iraq's Bank for Trade. According to the statement, the meeting reached many decisions. Let's hope one of those decisions is an increase in the rate. The most important of which is opening a special account to receive and deposit donations by banks, companies, governmental and private bodies in order to address the legal situation of financing the Ministry of Health and its departments with the funding they need. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this article here. I'll leave a link to this article. But yeah, you can see they've been. This isn't the only meeting. They've been in several meetings trying to figure out how to deal with their financial crisis. We already know how they could do that. Just change the damn rate. Anyways, people have been going back and forth over whether or not Iraq is still under sanctions, and come to find out, yes, they are still under sanctions. Believe it or not. In here is an article that talks about. This is interesting. I think you guys might find it interesting as well. It says Iraq under the 7th item is on the agenda of countries. The former MP confirmed today, Sunday, that some countries have started putting Iraq under Chapter 7 again. Chapter 7. While noting that politicians are still searching for ways to destroy and topple the other. They need to do that. This is what's going on. Is they need to get in there and get rid of that damn parliamentary and just install a different type of government. All right. So this guy said in a tweet that the project to end the political system in Iraq has started and the danger tablets have been knocked out. So noting that putting Iraq under the 7th item has become an agenda of countries. Nevertheless, Iraq politicians are still one of them, looking for all means to destroy and overthrow the other, concluding his words in let me get the word out, collegial language. Yeah, okay, so I struggle with the word. If the statement were oh my God, what the hell is wrong with me today? If the statesman was agitated, let me get it out. If they were not, they could indeed be tending to hand over dust to dust. Okay, anyways, the point of this. So there's a lot of political infighting that's going on. This should not be surprising. We know that there's really 4 different factions that kind of control the political blocks inside the parliaments. We know this. And these are blocks that not get along with each other. The Christians don't get along with the Muslims don't get along with the Christians. The Kurds don't get along with the Sunnis. All right, so you got these people in there. They're not going to agree on it. We won't agree on a prime minister because each one wants their own to represent them. All right, so we know that over this since the resignation of Mahdi, it's just been total chaos. They can't agree on anything. And this is not good for Iraq. It's not good for the Iraqi people, and it's most definitely not good for those individuals who are invested in the Iraqi dinar. All right, so they're already trying to figure out how to topple each other and how to overthrow the existing government that's there. All right, so anyways, just leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this article. I will leave a link to it because it is countries are putting Iraq under Chapter 7. What we want them to do is move over, obviously, to Chapter 8. But if they can't seem to end the corruption and get their crap together, this is the kind of stuff they're going to have to keep dealing with over and over. All right. Anyways, I just wanted to share these articles with you. I'll go ahead and post the links into the description, as always. And once again, I say thank you for tuning in. All right. Bye-bye.